Welcome to Shine Don't Run. Today we're going to be starting a brand new series called Braving Connection with Someone, inspired by Brené Brown. And today we're going to start with B. Hello everyone. This is Chelsea Hardy with Shine Don't Run, episode 36 for Motivational Monday. Today I will be starting a brand new series called Braving Connection with Someone, the definition of trust. This is episode 1 of 6, as braving is an acronym, BRAVING. Today we are going to be starting off with B. Before I begin, this is inspired by Brené Brown. If you have not heard of her, she is an author and a speaker. She wrote The Power of Vulnerability as well as many other books. If you find this of value, please go check her out. She is absolutely amazing. Before I go over the letter B, let's go over what the definition of trust is as defined by Brené Brown. Trust is choosing to make something important to you vulnerable to the actions of somebody else. And when you're in the process of making something that vulnerable to somebody else, you want to make sure that you are choosing the right person, which is why I felt that this was so valuable to bring to you today. So if that's the definition of trust, then what is the definition of distrust? Well, distrust is what I have shared with you that is important to me is no longer safe with you. So if you are making something vulnerable to somebody else and you come to a conclusion that they are a distrustworthy person, it is because that what's important to you is no longer safe with them. So what is B, you may ask? Well, B, to kick off this series, is boundaries. So what's boundaries? Well, boundaries, as defined by Brené Brown, is trusting you that you are clear with your boundaries. You hold them, you respect them, as well as doing the same with mine. While of course we are not perfect, it is best to always strive to do our best with holding someone else's boundaries as well as your own. So for the series, I researched 7 signs of healthy boundaries, as well as 3 questions at the end to ask yourself to know whether this person is worth investing in braving this connection with them. The first sign of a healthy boundary is knowing how to say no without guilt and how to define your limits. This is extremely important, as a lot of people, including myself, have a very difficult time with saying no if they feel that it might displease the other person. But knowing that when it is best for you to say no and to hold up that healthy boundary will only serve you in the end. Number 2, asking for what you want or need and understanding the use of concise communication. And I highlighted and underlined concise communication because we need to understand the best way to be able to communicate with people, and not only people in general, but an individual, because everybody has different communication skills. It is our job to learn how to communicate with another person, especially somebody that holds a very close space in our heart and that we have an intimate connection with, whether that be a partner, a close friend, a family member. Everybody's different, and we need to respect each individual and know how to concisely communicate with them. Number 3, taking care of yourself and knowing your worth. I felt that this one went hand in hand, because you won't know how to take care of yourself unless you know how worthwhile you are, how worthy and valuable you are. And in that, in knowing how worthy you are, you will find the best ways in order to take care of yourself. There is nobody in this world that will know how to take care of yourself better than you. Number 4, say yes because you want to, not out of an obligation or to please others. And I felt that this one spoke to me directly, because being one that likes to avoid conflict and is very much a people pleaser, it is very easy for me to say yes because I do feel obligated, and because I want to please other people, because I am a people pleaser, and because I like to avoid conflict and keep the peace. But there are times where that does not serve me. There are times where that does not hold a healthy boundary for me. So knowing and determining how and when to say yes because it is something good for you, not just because it's good for the other person, is very important. Number 5, behave according to your own values and beliefs. Know who you are, what you believe, and what you like. When we are braving this connection with others, it is so important to keep in mind that in braving this connection with others, we also need to brave connection with ourselves, because we are stuck with ourselves for the rest of our lives. And if we don't trust and value ourselves, know who we are, what we value, what we like, how can we expect another individual to do that for us? So in getting to know ourselves, we will come to understand who we are, what we believe in, what we like, and it'll be so much easier to know how to share that with other individuals. Number 6, be in tune with your own feelings. I felt this is important because feelings are ever changing. They change from day to day. And if we are not in tune with our feelings, we won't be able to use that concise communication and let somebody else know exactly what we need in that moment. And there might be times that in not letting them know, we might fail to meet a commitment, and we don't want to ever appear that we are unintegrable or unwilling to follow through with things. So that's why being in tune with our feelings and letting somebody else know where you might be that day, and not being able to follow through with something, not being able to be exactly what that other person might need because maybe we are having an off day, but letting somebody else know and knowing the boundary of where we're at that day with our feelings is so important, not only for us, but for that other person as well. Number 7, take responsibility for your own happiness and do not feel responsible for someone else's happiness. This is the other big one that really hit me because I absolutely love making others laugh, having such a fun time. And if someone is having an off day, sometimes I tend to feel that that's on me, that that's my problem, and that I need to make them laugh more. I know that we can always support others, encourage them, uplift them, and make them feel better during the day. But that is not our job to make them happy. It's not anybody else's job to make us happy, so therefore it is not our job to make somebody else happy. It's our job to be the support that they need, and that might look different on a day-to-day basis, which again, concise communication always clears that up. But it is not our responsibility to change somebody's state. That is theirs, just like it is our responsibility to change our own. So 3 questions I felt that it was important to ask while braving this connection with someone is: number 1, do you feel supported to pursue your own goals? Does this person, does this friend, does this partner encourage you and support you in all of the things that you want to pursue? And do you yourself do that for other people? Number 2, being treated as an equal. Do you feel that this person treats you as an equal, and do you treat them as an equal as well? I do not feel that it is okay for any person in any type of partnership or friendship to feel inferior or superior to the other person. I feel that we are all equal, and it is our job to make the other person feel equal as well. Number 3, do you feel safe to express difficult emotions and have disagreements? For somebody like me that tends to avoid conflict until I resolve that issue within myself, I don't feel that that is something that I will be 100% comfortable with until I resolve that issue. However, there are people that will make us feel much safer to have those disagreements and to express those difficult emotions than others will. And so is this person somebody that even in difficult times, do you feel safe coming forward with and expressing those things? In braving connection with someone, we know that the biggest thing that we will need in this journey is time. Time is not replaceable. Time is not something that you can speed up or slow down. Time is time. So in going through all of this, know that even in all of these boundaries, it will take time to brave that connection with someone. We also need to remember to always take responsibility for our own part and to let go of the outcome. I feel that that is one of the biggest reasons that we all have the hardest time in holding up our boundaries, is because we fear the outcome. If we choose to stand our ground and do what is best for us, maybe that person will not like what you have to say. It will lead to a disagreement. Maybe that person will walk away. And that is a huge fear that I have, especially, is to feel that abandonment and that loss. But what I do know is that if you tend to stuff these things in and you don't hold your boundaries, in the end, like I've repeated myself many times, that will not serve you, and that will not serve the other person as well. It is so much better to be upfront and honest with people and to stand your ground, and that will lead to not only happiness for you, but happiness for others as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to Shine Don't Run episode 36, Braving the the connection with someone, the definition of trust. Again, this is episode 1 of 6. Please tune in next week for Motivational Monday while we go over the R in braving connection with someone. And remember that lighthouses don't run, they shine. Mwah. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye-bye.